Hey, morning, Dale. I'm trying to send the link to Brian, so welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, let me see. More than I said, more than I said, more than I ever felt before. I love you more than I said. What up, Eric, man? Good morning to you. Good morning. We got some shit to draw, or maybe something more colorful than shit today. Never said before, more than I said, ever felt before. Okay. Gosh. Now my ears are late on the chat. What is going on, everybody? Jeez, that's bright. How we doing on this space here? That's not the worst camera setup. It's not awesome either. Yeah, no, it's best to get some chuckles in, Mr. Eric, sir. Oh, God. I gotta do some stretching and moving because I'm barely done with coffee and bus stop, so. Bear with me while I do not much for a few minutes, but try and figure out. Ugh. Here's that Hulk. He's looking kind of sweet. I spent some of the time during the show last night trying to make that cool. Rug! Okay, I gotta settle down too. Woke up angry. It is a condition of head trauma. One of these days, maybe it won't be like that. We're working on it. Diet makes a huge difference. If you want to have a good day, eat good food the night before. I really hated the way this white marker was drying last night, but now that it's dry, I kind of love it. I've only ever used these with, drawing on shit that you shouldn't draw on, like table saws and things. Dang, I really... that face, even though it's just built up layers of trash, it's really getting there. That's what you call painting. I do look forward to putting a signature on that one. That Hulk has definitely gone through a lot, sir. You got it. Jeez, these days they're so nasty to everybody. I can't imagine there's a character in comics that hasn't been raped and had their family murdered in front of their eyes. I don't mean to be insensitive about it, but if that's the only story out there, this ain't much of a world. Hey, look at me, I'm John Wick. I make comics, but I'm actually John Wick. Oh god, I'm gonna have to break out those Doc Martens again. It's the only way I'm gonna fill this front out. Man, confession on this one, it's such a mess that I doubt anybody even notices when I change the direction and even the arm that's in front there. That's what I started to do with the white. I was like, it's much better if he's hulking with his left hand in front open. Thing's gonna look sweet framed too. I think I'm gonna have to finish this and frame it. That's just too bitchin'. There's too much going on there. So I don't know how much attention you guys have to spare, but I'm gonna go get something and have a little talk about my process. Here's another pretty good lead into what I'm going to talk about, I think. So, I couldn't even believe when I was a kid how much art materials cost. If you'd have told me in the late 80s that I could get a drawing pad like this for $5, I would have been super excited. Now, an art supply store, even at, if it's got a couple of corners dinged on it or something, are not going to sell you a pad of paper for $5. And there's a reason. This is some shit paper. This is basically bleached thick newsprint. There's no special press on this. They put that nice, it's not even nice. They make it look like watercolor paper in there. But try and do watercolors on that. That's garbage. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm just trying to throw ink on paper. So, in the process of trying to relearn how to draw, one thing I've found is that I get just an absolute ton of mental clutter, which I can't honestly tell you how long or how much worse it is since my accidents 8-9 years ago. But what I know for sure is that in order to get to something tight these days, I really have to spend at least an equal amount of time just thrashing things onto the paper. It you know, there's a, I don't know, biomechanical arm. We got a fan up in there. This is an actual fan that we own. I started by trying to draw a nice three-dimensional ribbon. Um, I don't know. It was probably going to be ribbon exercises, but I didn't like the paper and didn't like the pen. Yep, there's another ribbon. Ribbon. Ribbon, ribbon. Got a broken stick. It's a nice broken stick. Arm holding it. But yeah, there's some paint spatters and stuff scribbled around. I only really became aware that this is something I have to do. When I was oh shit, I'm gonna have to let Ruth out. But I'm gonna finish this thought. I was over at my mom's in between Washington and here, and she commissioned slash demanded a no, she didn't even ask. I was just like, let me do it for you. Let me do it for you. I'm here. Let me do it for you. And so I did a painting of a couple of penguins, watercolor torn paper. And if you watched me for that 4 or 5 days, you wouldn't think, well, that's a Hellboy pose. Yeah. Hopefully my current ones look a little better. So, if you watched me over the course of 4 or 5 days, painting the simplest painting I've ever done in my life, most of my time, I must have spent 30 or 40 hours on something that started as a bad charcoal drawing of a tree stump, like a nurse tree, which is something that happens when you've cut down gigantic cedar trees and made me cry, is that other cedar trees will grow out of them, lesser trees. So yeah, I started with this one thing, and then I added some color to it. Don't remember, probably watercolor on top of the charcoal, and then I started inking on that page, and I just couldn't stop because in order to get the clarity of the simple one line capture, the absolute minimalism, I've got to get through the moop. I got to get the clutter out. So when I went, my power to the panel day for Inktober. Originally, I was just like, hey, I need a place big enough to put one of those big sheets of paper because I want to thrash out a cool fast portrait of Moss. But then I'd only seen portraits or like pictures of him. Was barely involved in the group, and so I took the piece of paper. I went outside with a couple of brushes, and I looked at the side of the bus, and I went and sat up. That's the last time I saw my. That's the last time I saw my tripod. I literally have no idea where it went. But I did this because this, for me, was a representation of Moss. It also, if you can't tell, it was a place to get some moop out. I was too good of a boy. I never did graffiti. God knows I should have did some graffiti. I've been more tempted since I turned 45 than I ever was as a child or a youth. But tagging in Johnson County, Kansas is about the lamest thing you can imagine. So, back to coffee for Dan. I don't think that I'm in a moot place where I have to just do something ridiculous. Because that Hulk has been ridiculous enough. Here's an example of look at a thing, draw a thing. That's what I've been doing since I was 13. I want to say I would spend for one panel like this. I would not even know at the time when I was say 13. I didn't even know they drew those things at least twice as big. So I would look at Jim Lee's stuff. I would find one clean character cut out, just like everybody. Nothing you have to mess with. Nothing that's going to look funny when it gets cut off. You just get that figure in the, or the head, whatever, in your panel. And I had dozens and dozens of just perfectly copied panels. I've never seen anybody copy better than I did. But it kind of always made me sad as I grew up that I didn't have my own style. Or that my own style was like this. I don't know, is it good? No. When I look at it, I'm like, it kind of looks like Mossy. I know I've done better likenesses, but I drew that in 15 minutes on stream. I was just like, hey, he's showing his face. I'm gonna I'm gonna reward it by massacring it with ink pads. Apparently. Hey, what I've been wondering, I'm glad to have the chance. Does the gold show up? Kind of see the flaky sparkles. That's pretty neat. Ah. Hey, another thing, in case any of you four is listening, um, you might want to go into your settings every time you watch something on YouTube and go to the chat filters and go to all messages. Because in a chat this small, I think it's a shame to try and read something and notice that you can't find it. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to get down to business here. Oh, that's a real bad Hellboy. God, my Hellboy needs help. I got some time, but that's gonna have to be my focus. That may be the fastest cartoon I ever made, Dale. Okay. I think I do want to do a warm up of some sort. I'm gonna call the Hulk my warm up for Doctor Strange. Do 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 do. Okay, so oh man, this is gonna take a while. The morning is nothing. Okay, so let me get on the other account here on this guy so that I can deal more appropriately with my screen. The abstract painting getting your moop out. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. That's exactly how I define it. But yeah, I just, man, I got a lot of chaos. You know what? Doing this. I got a lonely doggy whining. Rue, are you whining? Come here. Vinny, do you want to come out? You don't want to. Okay. Say hi, Rue. We'll go compare you to your portrait. Does that sound like a plan? Here, give us a look. I got a lot of orange in it. Ruth. What up, Meow? I'm comparing Ruth to her portrait. She's getting a little gray in the face. Sweetheart. Yep. The bullshit didn't want to come out. He's lazy as hell this time of morning. Hopefully that's a decent set. Let me... Yeah. Did you see that dog dressed as Splinter? Nice. Dale says you're beautiful, Ruth. Are you gonna whimper and whine and need to go poop since I'm trying to draw? That show that no one watches is in the chat. How you doing? How you doing? That show that no one watches is in the chat. Fake Nerfy showing up was a good plot twist last night. Come on, people, you know it. Oh man, I've got this red, I've got this magenta, and it just wants to be all over this angry Hulk. Ruth, shut up. Yeah, Meow, you were right. You were right. I'm so glad I plugged away and continued to molest it. Went through the other side. I'm teetering on the edge with this one, I think, Meow. It's got a lot of good things going on. But I'm trying to redirect what was a hand over here, a fist over here. I got that, and now it's Hulk's left thumb going like that. Was right hand going that way, like rah. But yeah, anyway. This one's making me nervous. There's too much shit going on. Like, I kind of want to get acrylic on top of it. No, we're going red. We're gonna. Hmm. He needs some more green. Bombay Gren. Magnificently full after all of its incidents and accidents. It is what it is. Like bees, Chucky Peace. I love art like this. Yeah, he definitely knows the deal. That's the thing about painting, man. It's really where I've always loved painted comics ever since the day I saw Sienkiewicz's New Mutants. I didn't know how he was getting away with breaking the rules like that and still getting a check from Marvel. I still don't know how he did it, except that that shit was badass. My intention is, since I've spent my whole youth trying to learn how to draw clean. What the hell is fun about that? Man, I think the most boring artist that I've seen on Instagram, the one that gets shoved in my face all the time, and this is not it's not a dig on their skills. And I know you guys have seen this individual because I see you liking their art. Kylie Gigstead. Kylie Gigstead bores me. Fantastic mark making. Dear God, that person can make marks. But every single post from Kylie Gigstead is, here's detail of how I make my leather bag look really leathery with 5,000 strokes that are every one of them perfect. Man, fuck. I am frustrated today, aren't I? I'm bitching about Kylie Gigstead. Have some more fucking green, Hulk. God knows you deserve some fucking green, Hulk. Yeah, like that. Fucking pissed off son of a bitch. Nobody likes you. Your attitude is garbage. Anytime any little fucking thing goes wrong, you throw a fit. Fuck you, dude. What a piece of shit you are. Dude, scientists are the worst. As soon as anything goes wrong, they go ballistic and they stay that way and they never fucking turn around. They can't just look at the evidence and decide that maybe something's different. We gotta change our point of view a little bit. No, I'm gonna dig in. I'm gonna fucking keep doing the same thing and it's gonna change the results for some reason. What cocksuckers, man. Biotech is Godzilla. Here's that fucking red I promised you, shit. Fucking hate scientists. Excuse me. That's called getting your feelings out on the page. How you gonna draw a fucking pissed off Hulk if you've never been mad in your life? God, that's looking good to me now. You're writing it, Dale. You know what? I did get that subscription to Scientific American because those fuckers promised me in 10 years I was going to have a flying car. And for that, black. Drop my pen. And that top corner, that don't work for me. Oh man, using my fingers is going to get rid of the martins way faster than brushes. Yeah, I think I can leave it at that for a while. Okay. Well, it doesn't have to be good. I'm not trying to impress anybody. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in where that goes, though. I will keep plugging on that one. Hmm. Oh boy, that was fun. That was channeling my show. If nobody here has ever watched David Cho, his YouTube channel is it's there. Fantastically interesting cat. I don't know a whole lot about him, and I missed his career, so to speak. I think I want to say the first time I ever noticed Cho, I know I've seen his stuff before, but the first time I noticed Cho, he was on the Rogan podcast back, God, 2015, 2016. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on working on it, Mr. Meow. I'm gonna keep working on this Hulk until it starts looking more like my brother. Yeah. There's no point in throwing all this anger into something and having it turn out bad. Yeah. The good news about that Hulk is now there's so much shellac in that paper, it's completely waterproof and should outlive us all. Yeah, so anyone who saw this yesterday, obviously I didn't have any white up on it. And I definitely should get a whiteout pen next time instead of a marker. But this is all right. And I took one look at somebody else's Doctor Strange, and I was like, right, it's not the three amulet thing. It's one big shiny amulet that gives him all his occulty powers. I, it's been a long time, friends, since I read Doctor Strange. Uh, I forget I'm on stream. I just make these offensive noises. We'll call it Nerfy's really loud show today. Got my coffee belly. Boy, I'm gonna have a hard time not getting color in the Strange today. And that's fine because I think it needs some color. Maybe I'll put, while I'm thinking about it, I will emphasize something about this amuleta. Maybe get it waterproof enough to stay white. I mean, it's seriously, this cheap freaking Hobby Lobby paper is thick newsprint. That's giving it too much credit. What the hell just happened? Oh, no, that's just white paper. Thought I was leaking. Two different levels of using these paint markers. As I said, I've never put them on paper before. And on plastic and metal, they build up immediately. But on paper, you kind of gotta get that flow and then just lay out more than you think you need and watch it soak in. But I'm pretty sure that I can come right up to it and leave amazing crisp lines with ink when I come back around. So this will be worth doing. What we got? Starting to look kind of like a headlight. I'm not sure that is my intention. Okay, I got 2 votes. My 2 most vocal supporters tell me I should start every stream with that Hulk and build on it. It may be a good theme actually. Hulking out and just getting to the point that I'm ready to settle down and look at something. There's a whole lot of things I've had to do just to make it so that I can function in society. I mean, that's all of us, right? I do not fit in well. The authenticity of my clowndom has come under fire just because I don't paint my face, and yeah. But that's not a choice. It's not a choice that we make. Nobody ever wanted to be a clown. Nobody's parents were ever like, you should run off and join the circus. What's that line? I'm done with elephants and clowns. I'm done with elephants and clowns. I want to run away and join the office. Oh, aimless drifter, you're surrounded. Angel faces, I'm astounded. How sweet you are. How sweet you are in your long black American car. And you know just where to find me. If I don't know who you are, you will remind me. All right. That should have got rid of all of them. Now I can talk to myself like a normal person. Come on, Dan, don't fuck this up. This Doctor Strange is the most important thing you've ever drawn. If you don't finish Kayfabe Tober, no one's gonna like you. Oh boy. Oh, now his nose is all white. That's funny looking. Now I have to make it all white. Oh God! Everything is so stressful! I'm gonna have to quit. Oh, this is too much. Wait, no, it's just lines on paper. No, it's not just lines on paper. It's Doctor Strange! Ain't fucking Doctor Strange yet. Look at him. Who sees that and says Doctor Strange? I don't know. You dude got the horns. You got the horned cape. What I gotta figure out is what his body's actually doing. So it looks to me like I need to make his shoulder bulge in this cape over a little bit. Or it's just not going to be convincing, like, twist to the body. I do not choose easy poses. I must be some kind of retard. He's Doctor Strange, no doubt. Thank you, Mr. Man. Thank you. But I was talking to myself. I thought you guys had left. The singing was designed to drive the crowd away. I like my weird swoops here. I'm going to emphasize that. There's just a... got that Cthulhuoid oddity to it. I'm gonna learn how to use white media. So funny, especially since most of my painting has been with watercolors. The use of white, it's like, ugh. If you leave the paper there, it's so much better than any usage of white, except making like pastel colors. Wow. This though, this is starting to become fun. The white marker is actually kind of fun. I can always come back and make it pointier, can't I? I mean, I can clear up some of that white. Meanwhile, I can make my swoop look cooler. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, killed it. I'm just going to thin this one out to make it look like it's behind the other one. I like this. I just need to be a little happier with the curve on it. Oh no! Shit, I was letting go of perfectionism today, wasn't I? Alright, so now that we've gotten some nice perfect lines there, let's mess it up somewhere else. When I get a little more of the black in, I think I will come back and carefully marker in some of that magic stuff. It's a good overall shape. I like what we've got going. But I gotta figure out the twist of his. I think it's justified. The hand's big enough. I think the hand should be bigger for it to be that foreshortened. I don't know. I don't know. I think I need to get out the black ink and see what feels good. Get out the Fritz Long tattoo. All right. All right. So, it would behoove me at some point to take a look at Doctor Strange's outfit again. Let's see. Geez, I forgot to start off by being grateful. Hey, let's talk about gratitude while I try to figure out where his coat goes. I am so grateful to be able to wake up and draw today. grateful to have buddies to hang out and draw with last night. I'm grateful for sweet Ruther Pooch, even though she's exceedingly obnoxious sometimes. So now his cape is not doing this. That is not right. I just don't think his body can be doing what I have it doing at all. So, we're gonna change it. The thing to do, I think, is to look at Dale and Eric's. I don't know if Mr. Meow did a... Meow, did you do a Doctor Strange? You don't gotta answer me, I'm just wondering. I'm gonna go look. But I know that everybody else at least has a better idea of what his... Hey, there's Kaya. The witching hour, nice. Kaya's done. I'm gonna say, great job. Keep it up. All right. And Dick Kerbo. That's the funnest name to say. Let's see. Dale and Dale. Dale's Doctor Strange does not have this Walt Simonson cape that I've got going on. Man, that shit looks like Neil Adams. Dale's so good. Not Neil Adams, but something about the... Oh, it's so good. Man, nobody draws a cape like that. It's like Neil Adams and Barry Windsor Smith had a horribly grotesque baby. Horribly grotesque middle-aged baby. Sorry, Dale. I don't know why I'm being mean. Probably because you're just listening on the road. That's probably why I'm being mean. Okay, Eric. I'm going to look at Eric's Doctor Strange because I know he's got their trad of. Okay, so. Oh, I'm doing it all wrong. No, okay. He's got a tunic. I love your Doctor Strange, dude. I like the cleanliness of your lines. Overall, very cool. So, okay, his medallion is like a big ruby thing, isn't it? And then the gold rope around it. And it's variously attached to his cloak or not, but that's like the old school proper way to do it, I think. And it's too freaking late for that for this dude. So we're gonna figure it out though. But yeah, knowing that he has that tunic bottom with the wrap, that's very convenient for changing what I need to do. Oh, it is some problems though, because I've introduced a fully unnatural body position just because I wanted his legs to do this, because I thought that was cool. But honestly, Doctor Strange isn't as much of an action guy. Even when they had him flying, it's like, hey, something else is moving me. Nice. You based it on his look from the Marvel vs. Capcom game. I based mine on. I think he has white sideburns, and I love that cloak they used to do. Yeah, anyone who was here yesterday can attest that uh, I was not very scientific in my Doctor Strange attempt. But it's not too far off. It's not bad. I am before I get too far along. I'm gonna have to look into what those classic magic swoops look like. God, some of those were amazing, dude. That was some of the most impressive art in the late 80s and the or late 70s, early 80s. I don't even know who was painting them, who was drawing them. Dale is dealing with interruptions because that is his job at the moment. Boy, I gotta ignore this. He's just standing. There's no way he's doing anything except like taking a step forward. There's no spinning at the hips going on with that upper body. And my eyeball keeps getting distracted that this is part of his cloak. And it ain't. So we're coming around here. Oh, that's not too bad. But now it's starting to sink back. Well, that one comes forward. Woo! It's getting to be kind of fun. Getting to be all right. Is it me? Am I the M? Damn spot. Alas. Poor Stephen. I knew him, Horatio. A man of infinite jest. He would carry me on his shoulders. Fuck, there's no way. There's just no way that his body's doing that. How do I get rid of it? I could cut it off. I could tear it off. Yeah, that's Shakespeare. A rose boy, any other name, whatnot, and so forth. Ah, you're right. I studied Shakespeare at college. But soft, what light at yonder window breaks? 'Tis the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon! That's enough of that shit. I had a friend. I had a friend who was a real thespian. He had the entirety of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead memorized. Um, Years after having done the play. That's a lot of words in deliberate sequence to try and have a hold of. Some people are built different. So now his stupid medallion is not in the right place at all. It's gotta be like, nah, ah. It was over here because his body was kind of twisting and heading off that way. But now his body's gonna be standing still. So, fuck it. There we go. Just like that. That damn thing has changed place again. I dig the bard too, Mr. Meow. I wonder if having such a high percentage of Canadians watching your stream will flag you for Homeland Security. You know, our Homeland Security's number one priority is trying to keep you dirty, floppy-headed Northerners out. Uh, Man, I mean, if we didn't have some kind of security, Florida would be filled with newfies. I have no idea how offensive that is to a Newfoundlander, but if they want to come down to Florida and take it up with me, we'll have a talk. Ah, you're a new. I knew it. I knew as soon as I said it that I had to be making the joke for somebody who was watching, because I just, it's not fun to make fun of people that aren't there. I mean, do I go around talking about what a douchebag Trump is all day long? Or what a retarded idiot Kamala is all day long? What fun is that? Let's not be political. uh, we call ourselves Newfies. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, it's just that, in the South Park movie, uh, they were not kind about Newfoundlanders. And I support that. So, you know. Man, I miss the 90s all the time. All the time. Because it was a constant barrage of everybody gently teasing each other and nobody getting their fucking feelings hurt. I miss it all the time. And one of those, oh no, the green. I didn't put the green back in the lid. I better fix that before shit gets worse. Oh, this is the most evil ink I've ever owned. Not that I've had that many. I'm kind of a speedball and what's it called? Winsor and Newton. I love the black cat, man. Gosh. Less snowbirds than there was years ago. South Carolina's getting them now. I can see that. Newfoundland is the opposite of a lot of USA. Yeah, dude. Nah, I would be so happy to be in a place where I can get a proper fucking flannel shirt again. If I could figure out a way to get up to the frozen north, I'd be there. I was on the border for 10 years. sometimes, sometimes, meow, I feel like I'm the opposite of the USA. And sometimes I feel like I'm the epitome of it. One thing for sure, I got that art in me and it got to come out. Oh man, I'm gonna have to listen to some John Lee Hooker. Boogie chillin'. I hoyed mama tell the papa to let that boy boogie woogie. Cause it's in him and it got to come out. I hoyed mama tell the papa. Oh, it's turning into Wolfman Jack. There's only one place to go from Wolfman Jack, and that's into Tom Waits. And it gets just a little bit grumbly. You start talking a little slow. Yeah, I was doing a thing down around the way. I ran into some trouble because nothing was ever what I expected. That's my generic Tom Waits story. Not quite as generic as my Godzilla story. That Godzilla was fucking generic, man. I'd say successfully generic. I really wanted to get his freaking feet on the page, and it's not gonna happen unless I give him a different stupid pose. This is a stupid pose. That's a failed pose. This is a reason to do underdrawings. That's the trick, man. That's what I'm on about. Is getting from this to an actual finished product. Cause I'm not publishing no bullshit. I'm not publishing any fucking 13-year-old's good idea of what a comic is. I should have done that 35 years ago. Yeah, I'm not loving the angle of the camera on this one. You know what? That big a paper doing this that far away from me is reducing the benefits of my standing table. Yeah, I'm digging those gray tones. Harsh light right now. Yeah. Until the natural light comes in, I'm just not gonna wait. It is what it is. thing I definitely can't do on this is Hulk smash it. That is not going to have success. Just gotta be subtle with it. Well, I hope B got on the road safe, and I hope he's having a good travel. I forget what he said he was doing today, but good times getting out and around, it sounded like. Right on. I'm not much of a driver these days. I drove my bus so far, and then I parked it, and I haven't really had much call to drive since. I'm a I tried to calculate, I tried to guesstimate how many million miles I've driven not that long ago, and I was surprised. It's not something you think when you're young that you're gonna end up having driven millions of miles. God, that ain't natural. That's America. I guess I am American as fucking apple pie. American as fucking an apple pie. Man. Can't keep today's show clean. It's morning time. Everyone that swings by is going to be like, what a jerk. Nah. See how those self doubts and self criticisms just come in all the time? God, I hate it. Perfectionism. That's what I was going to talk about. I'm sitting here worrying about this, and I should be splattering it to make it cooler. Perfect. Here we go. Let's talk about perfectionism. And anybody who's got anything to add in the chat, I would love to hear what you have to say. But I heard something not that long ago that really, really tickled my guilt box. Guilt box. No, the the part of me that's like, ooh, um, that was some useful information. The fella said, ah, it might have even been the title of the show. I don't remember, but it was. He said perfectionism is disguised depression. And I was like, holy shit. So I've like literally been depressed my whole life. And I can't think of anything that'll keep you depressed quite like perfectionism. So, yeah, it's some shit, man. And what good is it? The everything Dale, I'm going to talk specifically to Dale cuz I think he's a perfectionist. I think we've got a fella on our hands who's always been too down on himself and so never really had the confidence in his art because he hasn't had enough people telling him it's good. Makes it hard. People don't tell you your stuff's good. Makes it hard to think it is. I'm so grateful that Dale's here so we can tell him how good his art is because it's fucking good, dude. Man. Gosh, this is just hard. I don't know where his body is yet. I have to find his cloak first now. Okay, okay. At least that much I can do. Since this is already bunching up like it's coming up around him. That's alright. And we will have his cape going back that way. But himself shall be standing. I'm gonna I'm gonna check. I know it's a perfectionist move, but yeah, it's just a regular sash on Doctor Strange. Okay. Just a sash. Just a sash. Alright. That's kind of better. Amulet's kind of low. I think I'm having a hard time with the amulet, but that's okay. Strange, not smash. Yeah. Shit. Now I think I might be able to pull off that stupid pose. I don't know, man. It's not perfectionism, is it? Just indecision. I think it's indecision. Strange is wearing gloves. I shouldn't be rendering them like hands because they're gloves. So many mistakes, so many mistakes. But it doesn't matter. The point is to get something that looks cool. So let's make it look cool. I guess I wasn't too far off. Sucked in on his hip. Oh, I said I was gonna wrap him with a tentacle too, didn't I? I don't think that's happening. I just don't see it. I mean, I could. Gonna get awful confusing with all the other marks. I don't know. Ah, I think I might need to Hulk smash some more. It's 8:30. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that either today. Put that back for a minute. Okay, what other prompts do I have? What do I have that I could work on besides Doctor Strange? Since I've frustrated myself with him. Ah, boy. 8:30. There's an hour and a half, and I'm not nearly as interesting today, so hey. I, I may have to go take a nap and do some other stuff. Like get that logo working. Get that bumping in the corner, man. Hmm. Interest is not for you to determine. It's good. Thank you, Dale. I appreciate that. I my own interest. if if I'm losing interest in that Doctor Strange because of frustration, it's time to move on to something different. Um Seriously, what prompts do I have? I still got to do the Daniel Warren Johnson universe. And it's one of those things I feel like a lot like Ed, I don't know if I could do it any justice whatsoever. So I was stuck before ever having an idea. Okay, that's what I'll do. Mr. Meow always puts the prompt next to it. So I still haven't done Black Cat Zipatone. I did do Zipatone. I haven't done DC's Witching Hour. I haven't even looked into DC's Witching Hour. So, what do I have? We got Black Cat, Witching Hour, Go Nagai, Corner Box, Super Potato Akihabara, Daniel Warren Johnson. That's 6. Excuse me. Comic book ads. I haven't finished my comic book ads. I that one, Devilman can be quick and chaotic. That's a good call. Devilman is the I could do a horsey. That's a good call. What, Devilman Toriyama? Am I completely retarded on this one? I I'm willing to admit to holes in my knowledge. I have many. The knowledge I have is solid. That's it. That's going to go. Okay, right. I'm so. I need to breathe. I'm gonna take a minute just to breathe. Shit, six prompts I didn't do. Six prompts I didn't do. You know why I didn't do six prompts? Because I had something else that benefited me. It wasn't because I was being lazy. I've had a lot of thinking to do on top of a lot of drawing to do. I got a lot of strategizing to do. Honestly, I don't have control over anything in my life right now except that brush, man. Most of my time I spend trying to let the brush do whatever it wants. It's a trick. You know, I said I wasn't gonna juggle till Murgo was watching, but Murgo doesn't show up all the time. Do I have room? Let me see if I can even do it. Nope. Not a lot of space here. I can do a two-hander. Nope. One, two, three. there's there's the headroom is exactly up to the camera. Boy, it's been a minute since I tried to juggle so low. Okay. Well, I'm glad Murgo wasn't here to laugh at me now. uh, IJK. Meow also knows nothing about Go Nagai. I'd seen Devilman stuff back in the day. I was never interested. There's something about that style of anime face, I guess. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm not trying to bust Murgo's chops either. I just I just talk all the time. Um no, Devilman falls into that category of it looks like old cheap anime or old cheap Japanimation. It looks like to my mind it all had that um wanting to be Astro Boy, wanting to be Speed Racer kind of feel to it versus the anime and manga that I was seeing in the late 80s that was exciting to me. I don't know, there was something about that the more classical style. The the gosh, what's his name? Astro Boy Tezuka. That Tezuka style of uh Disneyfied rubber hose kind of feel to it. I don't know. Yeah, and I had to force myself to do the. Me, I was fascinated by the comics knowledge in the group. A lot of people know a lot of stuff in there. It's true, man. Ah. Um, the other one, the prompt that I had trouble with, not because I have anything against him, is what was it, Kira Toriyama? Um, because I am not into Dragon Ball Z. I know that the guy I think is Goku sometimes isn't, and that the ones that look like extra muscly Goku are also somebody else. I don't know, man. Try and follow some shit that long from America. But no, it was back in the 80s, it was so hard to even get manga and anime, especially in Kansas. Holy crap. It's not like we had a Chinatown in Kansas City. Yeah, my comics knowledge, dude, I was between 1987 and 2003 or so. I didn't really have any interests except for comics and beer and weed and cigarettes. Yeah, I mean, dude, I've lost. I'm not even gonna say I've lost more knowledge than most people will ever have about comics because I get chunks of it. It's like there's a William Gibson novel where I think Rydell gets hit with a chunk of memory, makes him throw up as he's walking through an airport because he'd been blown up, his whole body reconstructed, and when they brought him out of cryo and put him on the way, his memories would just come hammering back in these like a like a brick falling on him, and so I get it like that, but not so intense. Sometimes I'm just like, holy shit, I can remember everything about something. Um, but the comics, man, I watched them change. I watched money come into comics and fuck comics up. And if you don't believe me, go watch the latest Marvel movies. The fucking garbage they have done with characters that we cared about. You know, one of the first conversations I had that made me interested in staying around Brian's channel was that I said something about it breaks my heart that the youngs think that Thor can be a chick. And so we got into a little conversation about why I would think that. And um, was Madam Web great? I believe you, Meow. I'm sure that that appeals to somebody. Some I can't even I can't even finish the sentence. Oh shit. I, dude, the best thing about YouTube is that I can learn from people whose opinions I respect. And that means I don't ever have to see some shit like Madam Web. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you. But more than that, dude, YouTube has connected me with so many cool people. When I was getting into synthesizers and trying to learn how to make electronic music, there were people at my level and above my level with similar levels of success who were into it, who wanted to hear more, and who I could click on their channel every week and see something from them. And during COVID, man, we freaking ah, everybody was doing stuff, hanging out, making stuff. My brother stayed home from work as a mechanic, turned street signs into a go kart, and wrecked that go kart before I could come visit in October. It's like there was there was an opportunity there. There was an opportunity there, and instead of just fucking doing stuff, we all watched and waited, didn't we? We should have fucking still been doing stuff. I put a, Dale said he watched Madame Web as a bad phone bootleg. It put a layer on top that made the movie actually good. It was so weird. Yeah, I can see that, Dale. You can dig into my video library. I don't recommend it necessarily. It's not for the weak at heart, but I've got like 500 videos, and probably 300 of them are music videos. And of those 300, um, gosh, probably 200 of them are just a news piece that I found astonishing and put some weird overlays on so that I wouldn't get copyright shit, and then set music to. Or I set music and then I said, well, this gives me this feeling, and I went and found helicopter footage from Apocalypse Now and some burning buildings and stuff, and I put it on a circus tent. I overlaid a burning circus tent at the end of one video because they had shut down Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. And believe it or not, as a clown, I feel the lack of a circus. I don't think it's kind or humane to have animals locked up and use them for weird shit. But I don't think it's kind or humane to have humans locked up and brought out to do weird shit either. Make people money. You fucking right, we're the circus, meow. No, no. We're the gladiators in a fucking spiritual coliseum. Fun fact. Fun fact. Uh, the circus music from the fucking organ. That is a song called March of the Gladiators. Hey, Meow is on his shit. See, you can be astounded by their knowledge of comics, man, but you've got the wide base. It's immediately apparent that you have a wide knowledge base, sir. But yeah, March of the Gladiators. Ain't that some shit? That silliness that the clowns frolic to is March of the Gladiators. And then if that doesn't send you down a philosophical path in your brain, you're not a philosopher. You're not a thinker. if if it doesn't make you think when you put those connections together, you're not a thinker. Uh, oh man, and that's a big chunk of this world, isn't it? I myself, though I lament often, and you will hear me again lament that I was blocked from going to art school, literally. um, I often wonder if living the struggle that I lived wasn't more valuable for me than going to art school. One of my favorite cartoons of all time was, gosh, it might have even been in when I interviewed at School of the Art Institute of Chicago. Uh, this it was just a short, no, but it was right around that time. There was this just a short cartoon, very clean, very cute. Um, it said, no, gosh, it was okay. I'm a total idiot today. It's in Scott McCloud's book. It's in Understanding Comics. You guys probably know this one. Uh, the art student going into college. I may not know art, but I know what I like. And the art student coming out as a grad student. I may not know what I like, but I know art. Oh my god. I mean, Scott nailed a lot of things in that book. I don't think he I don't think he could have made a better book. I don't think anyone could have made a better book about comics. I think it's better than Eisner's book about making comics. And if you do not believe that I love Will Eisner, I'll go get my copy of my artisan edition Spirit. But I'm still gonna say, I think it's I think Scott McCloud's Understanding Comics is the most important book to own as a comic guy. And I include the two other volumes. I haven't even finished making comics. I didn't even know it existed until this year. I bought it and I can't read anymore. Um, I bought a book. Yay. But I literally, for the last decade, I went from the guy who read 1,000 pages a week at least to I haven't finished a book in over a decade. I didn't finish the Donald Duck Scrooge McDuck collection. I didn't finish my daughter's Little Lulu book. I haven't read a single story in the textbook I got her. I miss reading, man. Shit, that's looking better though. More like a fist. And now that I'm not afraid of white media, I should say gray media though. This shit does not go white. Pardon myself. Excuse me. Ah! I got black on my white marker. Seriously got to be confident in your strokes to use this in any kind of functional way, because I'm only getting good results by going over it multiple times. That's why I always remembered that fact. I tell people and they're like, cool. But I'm like, no, more than cool. I feel you on that, meow. Okay. Okay. What do I want to whack away at? How's it drying? Woo! that that black Dr. Martin's shellac-based ink, like everything else was letting everything bleed through like crazy. It was getting real hard to see under some of that black. It's a good idea though to come back to this every day and keep on working at it. One of my favorite shorts that was going around for a while was a fellow that had one piece of watercolor paper, I think. I think it was, I don't know what kind of paper, but he had covered it with, I think, Posca marker and made a big blue gumball head. And it was about this size of paper. And every day he would go over it again with blue Posca and then draw in a different face. And so it was different expressions in different styles, drawing Gumball as different characters like Handsome Squidward. That was really cool. And just an excellent exercise, man. Everybody needs some kind of just do it to do it exercise. I really think all of us, young and old, need to be conscious of how much moop you gotta get out. Man, I can do beautiful, tightly controlled things. Is this a comic book you want to see, though? Does this imply action? I mean, I did this, it would be a nice piece to put in somebody's house if they owned a dog that looked like this. I guess literally, Dale just blew my mind. this, this is not comics, man. This is comics technique. This is the same inking style that I've done since I was 13. Not really. I guess honestly, I started using a brush more when I was 16. But I didn't know anything about what materials to use until reading fucking independent comics. Indie comics are the only people talking about how comics would. You would want to see that comic deal. Yeah, because you're settled. I mean, that's what I want to do, though. I want to do. I've so run off of my point. My point was, this is comics, and this is a wall hanging. This is chaotic. This is action. There's a story. It doesn't. This doesn't even need something next to it to be comics because we all know the story already. This is juxtaposed next to every other Hulk you ever saw. So the only thing that really matters is does it feel like the Hulk? I don't have to get the proportion good. I don't have to make it really look like the Hulk. It just has to feel like the Hulk. I do a portrait. I spend a lot of time trying to rein the chaos in. It doesn't have the movement. It doesn't have the inherent action in it. And there's no story here except that there's a dog on your leg. Okay, I gotta back up. It's covered enough. You could attack it with sandpaper. Dale wants to see that comic. Attacking this with sandpaper is already an attractive proposal. Um, I once made art on a portrait I found in the garbage using only erasers. Nice. That is a cool idea. It's one of these like thrifting. I saw probably on Instagram last night a short where somebody was thrifting Bob's Burger. Or sorry, thrifting. I saw two different things. Yesterday I saw someone painting Jason Voorhees into no, it was Leatherface into thrifted paintings. Go to the thrift store, buy a painting that somebody did and gave to the thrift store. Put your character in it. That's some fun shit. Another one was somebody completely redid uh, the diner with Bob's Burgers characters, and it was fucking beautiful. That's a lot of work though. Meow says he saw both of those. I'm assuming you're talking about the diner. Yeah, Bob's Burger Diner, dude. Woohoo! It's a lot of work to get something to look that good. He reminded me that art reminded me a little bit of a fellow that does chalk uh, goblins and stuff. You guys have probably seen the chalk guy. Wow, I've had got to get rid of that. Yeah, I'm gonna come back on later on, fellas, but I think that I need to take a break for now because it's been a couple hours. Dogs are gonna have needs, and probably I am getting toward needing something too. I intend to make this work though. This lighting sucks. I really wish that I could get a better read on this with the camera. I'm gonna take 1 second to do this. I'm really enjoying letting the brushes choose marks for me. These cheap garbage brushes. But yeah. Anyway, we will make it happen. Thanks, Meow. I think the face is cool too. It's one of those. I I I want to be able to do faces with the least amount of marks. And being picky about your shapes is how to not do that. I don't know, man. We're all getting there. Hey, thank you all for showing up. I don't know who's in the chat except for Meow and Dale, and I appreciate every. Oh, and Eric. I appreciate you all showing up. It's just awesome having a hangout. Um, y'all don't ever have to show up, but I'm gonna appreciate it every time you do, and I'm gonna be live talking to myself if you don't. So, um, I hope everybody has a wonderfully blessed day. Let's get some art done. Let's make some comics, dude. Today is the first day of most. Hey, yo, hey, Salvador. Good to see you, dude. You popping in right as I'm heading out. um, but I intend to come back in a little while. I don't know if Mossy's not doing a show in the middle of the day, I'll probably do it because that's my life. I got nothing to do but draw right now. I got to get better. So yeah, cheers. Uh, take care, everybody, and I'll catch you on the flip.